Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. What's poppin', YouTube? It's your boy Gucci, and today, y'all. I don't know how can I explain this video, but I know y'all seen that thumbnail and I know y'all seen that title. So that means I came up with something, y'all. So with that being said, it's gonna be probably one of my most embarrassing moments, you know? So don't come for me too hard in the comments, you know what I mean? Because as I tell y'all this story, y'all gonna realize I really was the good man, you know what I mean? Which it was hard for me. It was actually hard for me to be because I knew I used to always be a dog. So with that being said, man, before I get started with this video, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, leave a comment, make sure it's a respectful comment, you know what I mean? Hopefully it's good and all my supporters rock with me over it. You know what I mean? And share this video, you know what I mean? Even though it's gonna be embarrassing to share it to people, but I gotta get it out there and I gotta get it open and I gotta get it off my chest, you know what I'm saying? And for me to continue to move on with my YouTube channel, you know what I mean? This has to happen. So with that being said, don't forget to hit that notification bell to be tuned for all my next upcoming videos after this, y'all. Well, we all know the center of this whole video is about Gucci and Tyne and what happened, and I'm basically just going to tell it all. I'm also taking accountability for myself, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that I know that I wasn't able to provide in this relationship, marriage, whatever you want to call it. So with that being said, I'm gonna start off. Me and Tyne, we knew each other. Well, we knew of each other through some other people, you know, some other of her family members, whatever, whatnot. And we ran into each other on one of my birthday parties. And during that time, we didn't really connect. But we all transferred Snapchats, and you know, I noticed that she would continue to watch my Snapchats, watching my snaps, and it was just something that just caught my eye. So I just gave it a chance, you know what I mean? I shot to her and I told her, you know, what type of man I used to be. I'm sure her family member and her friends already told her about me, well, about my past before I went to prison. So she looked at it as I was just a player with money, and I was out to just, you know, excuse my language, fuck with bitches. What she didn't know was that I was really trying to settle down, get married, and, you know, do it the right way, because I just spent 30 years of my life, you know, selling drugs, fucking messing with a lot of different women, had kids, different kids on my other last relationship. I was just this really, you know, heartless person. And it was like, you know, I was tired of it. So I explained to her, you know, I can remember like it was yesterday, word for word. It was that I don't want to be in the streets no more. I want to get married. I want to be able to have a perfect wife, even though no one can be perfect, but I want to have a good wife. You know, one woman, I made a vow to God that I was done with the games, I'm done with the cheating, I'm done with all that, you know? And it just kind of like it was going well. We connected, and she said she wanted the same thing, you know, and she told me about her past relationship. And I'm not here to talk about her past relationship. I'm only here to talk about what happened in this relationship. We end up locking in. We end up going on a couple dates, and we just connected. We vibed. It was all love, you know what I mean? She seemed so innocent and sweet. She was quiet. And I just, you know, I fell for it. You know, I felt like she was the one. And, you know, I prayed on it. And God must have presented this one to me. And somehow, you know, we live an hour away from each other. So I used to always travel up here. Anyhow, we end up vibing. So I end up making a sacrifice to leaving where I was from to come up here and, you know, start this relationship and this journey within like 4 months. 4 months transpired. She was still kind. She was sweet. You know what I mean? And she just fooled me, you know, just complete one person. I thought this was just her, you know. During that time, it was, you know, I guess when you start living with somebody, you start to see their true self when they're trying to hide who they really are. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. You know what I mean? I just thought, you know, I knew that nobody could be perfect. Everybody got flaws. So I accepted that. But then, you know, I started her child's father. Let me start off with it, because that's where it all began. And her child's father, he was like obsessive. He couldn't let go. I guess they was in a relationship and they broke it off 2 years before me, but he couldn't let go. So he started, you know, doing crazy things, obsessive things, like popping up or constantly calling, asking for who I was. He did a background check on me. And I felt like I wasn't aware of this at that time. But during that time, it was like, no, this your child's father. I don't want to get in between y'all. As long as y'all only talking about the kids, I'm cool with y'all relationship. So I instantly, you know, it was a lot of things, like he was texting in the middle of the night. And at this time, I didn't know him or know what the situation was. He just kept texting in the middle of the night. So some told me to just ask to use her phone. I mean, I used her phone and see who's texting that time of night. Find out it was him. And I started going down the messages, and she was telling this man everything about me, where I'm from, my everything, my age, my full name, middle name, you know. And it was like, whoa, you know, this is a real flag. Is there something more going on? So then she made me believe there wasn't nothing that, but she felt like, you know, since they had kids, which I agree to. As I was saying, which I agree to, you know, because it's not, I get it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go to that extent of, you know, I wouldn't go to the extent of, you know, acting people backgrounds and doing all that stuff. I wouldn't do that. But, you know, I want to know who's around my child, you know, as long as he ain't no pedophile or whatever the case may be. So, you know, me and her got in our first argument over that. And then, you know, that happened. I started paying attention to other red flags. But it was like I wasn't looking for, because I knew that I made a vow to God that I'm going to work this out with her. Whatever the situation is, we can get through it. And so with that being said, you know, one day she was in the shower. You know, I really didn't know her kids as well because it was still early. He was in the shower and her son came crying in the bedroom while I was in the room. And it was like he was crying about something that he was using on his phone, on his mom's phone, that he couldn't get into YouTube. I'm sure y'all know how you go to a different app, YouTube, it stopped. So I helped them. And during the process of that, you know, I knew it had to be God that was trying to give me another flag, that when I grabbed the phone from him, I seen that she was just previously talking to 5 different men. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not accepting that. You know what I mean? I'm not accepting no infidelity, no cheating. Them red flags already out the bam. So after that being said, you know, I'm like, oh no, I can't do this with you no more. I won't be able to do this with you no more. I'm gonna let you go live your life, because clearly you lied to me in my face and told me what it really was, and that you really wanted to work, you know, get married and do the right thing, but you lied to me. So I eventually broke up with her. I left. And once I left, she didn't take me serious. But then once I did leave, she came, you know, chasing me down an hour away to working it out and changing her whole phone number, you know, making me believe that she really trying to stop what she was doing, but she thought I was still on my play away, which I don't believe that's an excuse, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you can think what you want, making assumptions, but once you get caught, there's nothing else behind it, you know what I mean? So I never gave her no reasons. Like, my phone was open, I sacrificed everything. I had a dozen females I used to talk to, but I stopped all that. So she eventually came down and told me that she was willing to change her phone number and just change everything just for me, because she knew that there was something about me that I was, you know, serious, and I'm being, you know, something that I would play no game. So I'm like, okay, I gave her another chance after that. And during that time, I gave her another chance after that. I asked her, was there anything left, anything else I need to know about you, or anything you hiding from me before we get back into this relationship and get committed? Because now we're in the process of moving in together in a whole new house. She told me that was all. And I'm like, wow, okay, that was all. You know what I'm saying? Cool. If that's all, I'm gonna trust you again this time. Find out a couple months later, her child father ended up reaching out to me. So we end up being, her child father ended up talking for 4 hours, which that was him talking the whole time. But I'm listening, because, you know, now I need to know what type of woman I was dealing with, being that them two was in a relationship for 19 years, right before me. So I'm sure he's gonna try to twist it up and make it seem like, you know, she's this devious person. So I knew I had to read between the lines, but I know it's some truth there. So he continued to tell me she's a liar, she's a manipulator. She has all type of dudes on the side, and I'm just temporary, or whatever the case may be. And he ended up hit me with something that he eventually had said, did she tell you about her sugar daddy? And I'm like, whoa, sugar daddy, I never knew about none of this. So that came out to the whirlwind, and I eventually asked her. She said, yeah, I do have one. I'm like, well, I thought you told me everything. You know what I mean? You told me it wasn't none left. Her response was, I didn't know you that well to tell you that part. And it was just more lies and more manipulation. And, you know, it was like, I don't know. And I think I became naive and blind to the fact of what's going on, because I made that vow to God that I was going to overcome all this. You know what I'm saying? Just work it out, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the road, I'm looking like a fool in the end. So she ended up eventually telling me that she had a sugar dad. All the time, she had me in believing that she was a paralegal or a lawyer or whatever the case may be. So I'm thinking that's where all the money was coming from. And found out it was from a sugar daddy. So she had a sugar daddy the whole time. That ended up coming out. And it was like, wow, you know, how can I trust you? What are you going to do to build this trust up? So eventually the sugar daddy we end up keeping them, you know, just for a period of time. But, you know, I know I wasn't comfortable with this, because this is not the road I'm trying to go down. I'm a man. I don't need another man to take care of my family and household. But it was an opportunity, you know what I mean, to, you know, elevate. So eventually that happened, and it ended up crumbling, because it was just a lot of lies and a lot of, you know, stuff between her and this sugar daddy, this old dude. And I'm like, you know, I don't think I can handle this, and I don't think I can, you know, trust you enough to even live in the same city we're in, because you just lying to me. You know what I mean? With these dudes, the sugar daddy, your baby dad know where we live. He's doing the most by putting Snicker bars on my car in the middle of the morning, honking the horn, calling his daughter to tell him to open the door while we're sleeping. You know, this is my truth. This is everything I'm saying is pure fact. You know what I mean? mean? Hopefully she might make her own video about it, but everything I'm saying is facts, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. At this time, I'm doing right. You know, I'm still trying to stay on the road of doing right when I know that I'm dealing with a girl that's wrong. But I'm still trying to do right because I know what type of man I am. I'm a very vindictive. I have had numerous females. I know numerous people. I always had money. I was always in the streets, you know, just the lifestyle. Hold on one second. Let me put my, okay. All right, so back what I was saying. So during that time, I'm like, okay, well, as y'all notice, I am at our home, and today we just got our divorce papers. So we just only been married for a month, and we got our divorce paper already. We don't know, you know, we're at a place where it's just pretty much over. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty much why I'm doing this video. As I was saying, what was that? Oh, about the sugar daddy, whatever. So we end up just leaving that, you know what I mean? And we end up moving out to a nice neighborhood because, you know, I'm not you. I don't want to be, I guess I'm a boss-like person. So I don't want to be in the hood, living in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be in the burbs coming to the hood, you know, on some real boss stuff, you know what I mean? And so we end up moving out to another town next to the city where she's from. And I'm from an hour away from where we at. And with that being said, so it was like, you know, it was new to her, but it's kind of not new to me because, you know, where I was at, it was another little suburb, whatever. And so then I'm like, okay, well, you know, she wasn't comfortable with it. And before all that process happened, hold on, I'm going too fast. We stayed in St. Paul where she's from for about 6-7 months. And during that time, you know, I just started seeing things like, you know, she was being very argumentative, very disrespectful. Her words was just very disrespectful to the point that, like, everything that she went through in her previous domestic relationship, she's putting that baggage on me. Everything he was doing to her, she's doing it to me now. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know, it started getting physical. She started putting her hands on me, and I never really been in a physical relationship. You know, it's always probably arguing or yelling, but physical, I never done that. Me putting hands on women, that's not me. And so it was like, okay, you know, I'm just seeing more and more flaws and more things just starting to happen in this relationship. And, you know, but the more time that I keep investing into her and her household and in this family, my feelings get more involved. And during that time, I'm like, okay, well, you know, fighting, you're lying, got these 5 different dudes. A lot of things she started coming in the house at 4 in the morning. It was just a lot of things that I was dumbfounded to not seeing. You know, when I used to do these things, I was just being dumb, you know? So this is the embarrassing moments that I'm letting out. So when I walk away, I got my closure, you know? I got my closure from this situation because now, look, we're married and we get divorced in a month. And now I want to get my closure with this YouTube because now I invested my whole image with a woman that was deceiving me, you know, lying to me and all the other stuff and above, you know? So we end up eventually, all that transpired during that time. It was getting a bit physical. We ended up moving. And the first day, you know, she's told me a lot that she went through in her past relationship with her child's father. It was just a lot of things that, you know, that wasn't out there in the beginning, but then she started saying things when she was mad. So I realized that she's one of them people that like to, when she get mad, say things that she really don't mean or try to take back later. So I had to read between the lines. So we ended up moving to the little small town. The first day that we moved here, y'all, it was crazy. If y'all want me to finish this video and finish this episode and tell y'all the second stage of everything that happened with Gucci and Tyne, man, help me get this video to at least 50 likes. Help me get this video to 50 likes because this is hard for me. You know what I mean? And I know I got a lot of supporters that support me, and I know it's a lot of men out there that's trying to do good and do right. You know, I just spent 6 years in prison. You know what I mean? And before the prison life, I was just a dog. You know what I mean? So I looked at it like this may be my karma for the things that I've hurt the women in my past or my past relationship. It had to been something, you know? But I'm like, you know, I'm gonna fight because I know the situations that she was in prior to 9 years or 10 years was a very domestic relationship. I never been with a domestic person. And I said, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight for this because I'm gonna help her, show her that there is people out here that's out to love her more than hurt her. And the whole time, her intentions and motives was to hurt me, you know? So I'm falling in love with a person that's hurting me. You know, I never cheated, never encountered with a woman. No woman disrespected her, no one. I never even go out to the club. I never step out and come in at 2 in the morning. I don't even go no. It was really just pretty much me and her every day, all day. And she didn't even like that. But as I was saying, man, if y'all want me to finish this video, so I'll just give me a thumbs up, y'all. Give me 50 likes on this video. Love to hear y'all comments. I'm gonna comment back. You know what I mean? Like, once again, this is one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. And at this point right now, I don't care because I'm doing it for closure, because I had a public figure of Gucci and Tyne, and a lot of people that rock with us need to know. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm gonna end this video, and I'll see you on the next episode if y'all come through. But make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to push my channel further, you know what I mean? I wish I could show y'all our old videos, but she deleted the channel, so we won't be able to show the other videos, but I do have more to come. It's gonna be more journeys, more vlogs, more everything else. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. Peace.